prayer one day, I heard the Lord say this to me: "Son, keep your eyes on me and not the sea." And immediately when the Lord spoke this to me, I knew He was talking about Matthew chapter 14, verse 25. And in the scripture, mostly anybody who's read the Bible or even growing up in Sunday school has probably heard this passage of scripture. But I don't think a lot of times we grasp the true concept of what Jesus is trying to reveal here in the scripture. And it says, at about 4 o'clock in the morning, Jesus came to them walking on the waves. And when the disciples saw Him walking on top of the water, they were terrified and screamed, "A ghost!" Then Jesus said, "Be brave and don't be afraid, I am here." Peter shouted out, "Lord, if it's really you, then have me join you on the water." "Come and join me," Jesus replied. So Peter stepped out onto the water and began to walk toward Jesus. But when he realized how high the waves were, he became frightened and started to sink. "Save me, Lord," he cried. Jesus immediately stretched out His hand and lifted him up and said, "What little faith you have! Why would you let doubt win?" And what I really think the Lord is trying to reveal here in the scripture is keeping our eyes on Him and our gaze on Him. He tells Peter, He says, "Come out here and join me." Because Peter says, "Lord, let me join you if this is really you out on the water." Now when Peter stepped out of the boat, his eyes were upon Jesus' face. He was looking at Jesus as he had total faith and trust in Him as he began to walk on the water. But when he began to take his focus and his gaze and became undistracted about everything that was going on around him, he took his eyes off of Jesus. And when this happened, he began to sink in his own doubt and unbelief, because he took his eyes off the one that was keeping him walking above every care and struggle and the chaos that was going on around him. But when we take our eyes off of Jesus, this is when things begin to take us over. So Jesus still saved him, even though as he began to sink, as he cried out, "Master, help me, I'm sinking." In other words, the storm was definitely raging. The waves were so high that when he began to sink, these waves would have made him drown. So immediately the Lord reached down and saved him, despite his unbelief of something he was already doing, which was walking on the water. And this is a form and a picture of when we stay in intimacy with Him, we will soar with Him and mount upon wings like eagles. And through realms of intimacy, we soar over every problem. We walk over it like it's nothing. He'll take us up into heights to soar over every issue, every problem, everything that's going on in our lives. Any bad thing that comes against us, we can soar over it and be at peace and ease because our eyes are upon Jesus Himself. But when we begin to take our eyes and focus off of Jesus, this is when we fall into this worry, unbelief, doubt, and things. If He is really doing something, is He taking care of the situation? And when we begin to worry and doubt about these things, realize when you begin to worry and have doubt within you, you have taken your eyes off of Jesus. But all it simply means to do is, when this happens, to cry back out to Him and to recenter my focus and my eyes upon Him. And He'll pick me back up, and I will begin to walk in that same place I was just in, of walking on all my problems over the top of them. And they cannot overtake me when I'm with Him and when my eyes are upon Him. So let us keep our eyes upon Him, our gaze upon Him, and He will lead us and guide us through every struggle and trial that comes against us. We will fly over it and soar above it all, because He is the one holding our hand. I love you guys. God bless you.